Hey there, so today I'm going to be doing my April wrap-up and my May TBR. So to do this wrap-up in TBR, I need to do a haul, because all the books, or lots of the books that are going to be my wrap-up and my TBR are books that I recently bought. So yeah, I didn't fail my book buying ban, I didn't fail it. Don't look at me that way. I didn't fail it. All of these books that I bought were for school. Yes, that's right. All for school, and I didn't actually buy them myself. I didn't steal them either. My parents bought them, so, yeah, still going strong with the book buying ban. I have been dreaming about books, though. Dreaming that I've been buying them, and then waking up feeling guilty, and then, being sad because they're not there. So, yeah, that's not weird. Yeah, let's get started. So the first book I have to show you is this. This is Utopia by Thomas More. It's a Penguin classic, and a lot of the books I'm going to show you are these Penguin classic editions, the one with the black thing and then the picture at the top. Yeah, and I really like how they look, like from the spines when they're all together, so that's cool. This book is really boring. It's about a place called Utopia, that's all, as you would expect, perfect, and everything's good, and there's lots of order, and it's just awesome there, except it's really boring. It's because of all of the detail that is in this book, and it's just, oh my gosh. It took me like a week and a half to read this. This book is like 120 pages. It's so boring. So boring. Let's not talk about that book anymore. The next book that I'll show you is this. This is Taipei, A Peep of Polynesian Life by Herman Melville. This is what this looks like, and if you know who Herman Melville is, he is the person who wrote Moby Dick. And while I was studying this book, a lot of people in my class were like, Moby Dick is the most boring book ever. And Moby Dick is one of those books that I've always wanted to read, eventually it's like on my list. So it kind of was, I don't know, saddening to me that everyone thinks it's incredibly boring. So if you've read Moby Dick and you think it's interesting or not boring, then tell me. And if you think it's boring, then, I don't know, tell me something I don't know. That's a Selena Gomez song. Yeah, I don't... That was a weird... Okay, yeah, the reason that there's post-it notes in it is because I recently did a speech on it, or I did a discussion on it, and I talked about this book for like 30 minutes, even though I was only supposed to go for 15 minutes, so, I like to talk. If you didn't realize, I hadn't actually read the book. I'm only up to page 82, so, yeah, I can really talk when I need to, but that's, yeah, enough, Dylan, stop talking. The next book is Robinson Crusoe by Daniel Defoe, and I really like this edition. It's the Oxford World Classic edition, and Robinson Crusoe, if you don't know what that's about, it's about a guy named Robinson Crusoe who gets shipwrecked. And I'm reading this book as well. I'm up to page 28. I should have read it already, but I didn't. Oh well. Yeah, it's kind of like the movie version, except it's like an older version. Like, he didn't, I think in the movie version, was he on a plane? I don't know. Can't remember, but yeah, he was on a boat or a ship in this version, and he was traveling around. He wasn't with, was it UPS? Or, I don't know, I can't remember. But yeah, this is that book. I really like it. Sorry, I'm like a little bit sick at the moment. Not really sick, like, sick enough to like stay home. But every couple minutes, I feel like I'm gonna, cough out my lungs, so that's great. The next book I have to show you is this. This is the Fair Queen book. Books 3 and 4 by Edmund Spencer. I already should have read this as well, but I haven't. I read some of it though, and it's quite interesting. It's really hard to read, and I'm not going to attempt to tell you what it's about because there are 6 books. Book 3, which is the book that I have to read, is all about, what's it about? Actually no, chastity. That's what it's about, so that's interesting. Yep. And the next book that I'll show you is this. This is the only, like, textbook kind of book that I have. This is The Renaissance and the Early 17th Century. It's an anthology of British literature, and it's the 2nd edition. And it basically just has commentary on Utopia, that book I showed you before, and lots of sonnets from lots of different people, and then lots of King Lear stuff from William Shakespeare. So, and lots of other stuff, but that's the only stuff that I've read from this book so far. It's pretty big, and I kind of like it actually. I like, I like it. As far as textbooks go, the rest of the books I have to show you are all still in their bag, because I didn't want to look at them, because I have to read them. I got them all from the co-op. That's where I get my books for school, because that's where we're supposed to get them, so The first book that's in here is A Sentimental Journey by Lawrence Stern. Haven't read this, obviously. I should have, though, so, you know, there's that. The next book is Lawless, or The Lawless Rose by Graham Greene. And, yep. The next book is Tales of the Pacific by Jack London. Actually, I'm supposed to be reading this right now because it's for the next week. But yeah, anyway, this is this book. The next book is Tracks by Robin Davidson, a woman's solo trek across 1,700 miles of Australian outback. So, yep. As you can tell, a lot of the books I have are about traveling because that's kind of what my class is about this year. And the last book in here is The Turkish Embassy Letters by Lady Mary Wortley Montagu. So, yeah, that's what that book is. So those are all the books that I bought for school. All of them are kind of English literature books. And as you can tell, there are quite a few. Are there? Or are there only 3? No, there's 4. There are 4 penguin things, which I really like. And I think I have like 4 or 5 as well. So yes, I really like these editions, kind of, except that their spines are really, really crappy, and they always make those line things, which is, you know, not good. So now we can get on to my wrap-up of my TBR. The only books that I read in April, even though I had so many books to read, the only books I read was Utopia. So that was a joy. Great way to start out the month. And then the next book I read was Chasing the Dark by Sam Hepburn. This I got through the Book Depository as part of their book reviewing program, and I really liked it. It's an arc. It's my first ever arc, which is really exciting, and I did enjoy it. I gave it 4 out of 5, and I did a review on it, so if you want to check that out, then there's a review on my channel. Also, I did a review on this on Goodreads. It was a very, you know, short, surmising, is that a word? I don't know. But yeah, it was a very short kind of review, and I think I gave it like 2 or 3 out of 5. I'm not sure. One of those 2. But yeah, these are the only 2 books I read in April, so I had an incredibly bad reading month. That's like the lowest amount I've ever had since starting BookTube. So that's great. And as far as books that I'm reading right now, I'm reading a lot of books right now. I'm reading A Game of Thrones. I somehow thought that I'd be able to finish this with all of the schoolwork that I had, but no, Dylan, no. I'm up to page 104, and that was from one sitting, so I only read it once, or like sat down to read it once. So maybe I'll be able to finish this in May. We will see how things go. And the other books that I'm reading, what other books am I reading? I'm reading Typee by Herman Melville. So yeah, this is good, kind of. It's about Herman Melville, like he actually went to an island that had cannibals on it, and this is kind of based on that experience. Obviously it's, you know, part true, part fiction, which is, you know, kind of what the traveler tale genre is. So it's kind of interesting, but it's kind of a little bit drawn out, as most of the books are that I have for school. I'm probably going to start reading this. I'm not actually reading it yet. I'm reading Robinson Crusoe at the moment as well. I'm up to page 28, I think I said. And I'm reading the Fairy Queen books 3 and 4 right now. And as far as books that I want to read, I want to finish A Game of Thrones. And I also want to read, if I have time, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo by Stieg Larsson. And then The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak, because I have been putting this up for ages because of all these other books, and I need to read it. And then also, obviously, I need to read all these other school books. I need to... My semester ends, I think, in June. I'm not sure. I think it's in June. But I think I will have to have read all these books by then, so... a to-read pile for school, which is always great. Oh, gosh, look at it. It's so big. What do they think I am, a reading machine? Okay, but yeah, those are the books, and those are the books I read in April, and the books that I plan to read in May. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this. Tell me what you are reading at the moment, or if you're not reading anything at the moment, then tell me what you are planning to read or are excited to read. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time. Bye! Look at all these books that I have to read. I mean, look, I'll show you. Like, ooh, moving the camera. These 2 books are the books I read in April. and that's what I expect to read in May. What's wrong with me?